You are watching the first video of my new channel on YouTube in which I am going to be uncovering and adventuring through technology. As a software developer of 2 years, a bootcamp graduate, and truly very self-taught, I am excited to create a channel as it is a part of my goal for 2019. I've only been doing this for about 2 years professionally, and so there is a lot of knowledge to be learned and a lot of adventures that I'd like to have as far as trying different technologies out, understanding them under the hood, hopefully getting to use them in real world experiences, building different things that are fun, maybe difficult, but ultimately it's to expose myself and hopefully along the way share with others and learn from others about various technologies. One thing that I've realized this last year is that YouTube and making videos in general and tutorials and whatnot is something that I don't necessarily feel called to do or feel like I need to do or have a huge desire to do. As you can tell, I haven't been making any videos for, I guess, about 2.5 to 3 years since I started all of this. But ultimately, I think it's a great way to hold yourself accountable, to put something out there that can be judged and critiqued or encouraged and supported. Really just to put myself on a schedule to reach my own goals for this year, which is to broaden my horizon of technology, to not be so focused on one particular language or framework, but really to expand myself. And I think that's the vision of that I have as a software developer, is to learn as much as possible and not be so siloed to a specific community, but instead build my own tribe of various different people of different backgrounds, working with different technologies, that are really more interested in being a part of a community and tribe and supporting one another in that than they are about being right about everything. That being said, it's going to be a lot of learning experience on my end. So hopefully as we go through this, it won't feel like I'm trying to be some professional that, knows everything that we're looking at. Obviously, you can tell I'm making this video in my third bedroom, and it's just kind of with a USB microphone, pretty unedited, and I think that it'll be a great experience this year among my other goals being reached that I will hopefully be able to post on this channel as well. So I did compile a quick, I guess it wasn't really that quick, but I did compile a list of organized technologies, whether it's languages, frameworks, etc., that I'd like to cover this year. Now, the thing is, this is a lot to cover, and there's no way that one person can spend only a year making videos and tampering around and learn these technologies to the level that is required to truly be a master of any given one of them. Now, by covering these, some of them we may cover in way more depth and spend more time building something with. Other ones we may spend some time just getting to know, reading documentation, building something, maybe building something with their getting started documentation, then building something else that somebody else has built. But ultimately, it's just going to be something fun to dive in and figure out, what is it like to work with this? What environment do I need to work with this, etc. So technologies we're going to cover, they're not in no specific order. So if any of these ring a bell to you or fancy your interest, hopefully at some point during this year we will discuss them. We're going to be talking about GraphQL and Prisma, OCaml, Reason and ML, Reason React, Flow and TypeScript, Apollo Client and Server, Gatsby, React Native, Vue, Angular, specifically 7 and anything newer, C, C#, C++, F#, Java with Spring Boot, Erlang maybe a little bit, but more focused on Elixir with Phoenix, Golang with Jin, the VI tool with or Vim, really mainly Vim, probably not VI so much specifically, service workers, maybe some DevOps stuff. I'd really like to look at Docker and Kubernetes and understand Jenkins more, Minikube and K8s, and I guess those are more local environments. Circle CI, which is continuous integration. Bug reporting tools like Raygun, Sentry, Rollbar, LogRocket, which is not on there. SQL, MySQL, Oracle SQL, Elasticsearch, NoSQL, PostgreSQL, GraphDBs in general, MongoDB. I'd like to cover Solidity a little bit and maybe the Truffle suite as far as smart contracts when it comes to the blockchain. I'd like to look at Ruby and Rails, as well as PHP and Laravel. Swift, I have Fortran on here, Redis, and then I want to look at operating systems like Unix, Linux, and Ubuntu. Sketch for design and maybe getting into some Sketch stuff and how to use that effectively. GreenSock, Screen Pop, and I guess CSS animations in general. Definitely going to be covering HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as a given, as well as React, which is not on here simply because I must have forgot because that's what I mainly use. Cross-browser coding practices like HTTP protocol, Ajax promises using fetch, Axios. I guess you could even say like Redux and that whole handling of data, as well as I guess maybe Flux as the basis upon that, and perhaps MobX would be ideal as well. And then looking at React, we'll maybe dive into some deeper stuff with React specifically to handle that in the current situation, or anything that comes out from hooks now that they're no longer just a proposal but are coming. Machine learning, that one sounds a little bit intimidating to me because I am not a mathematician. Artificial intelligence, data analysis, RxJS via observables, AWS, which that's a whole lot on its own, and hopefully just get a full stack encompassing experience working with a lot of technologies. There are countless other technologies that are not on this list that I can think of that come to mind, like maybe WordPress specifically, just the various different things that there are out there. There are obviously a lot of other languages like Haskell and even flavors of languages like CoffeeScript that I would also like to get around to, but are probably going to take a little bit of a backseat if they're not used as often, or something that is really easy to search online and navigate through. So I do have a list of a bunch of courses that I've started taking. Some of them aren't crossed out here, but in Udemy, as well as using Front End Masters. And I'm going to have some other stuff like Codecademy, different things that I'm going to be using to hopefully get an idea of these various technologies, but it's not mentioning all of their documentation, anything they have to get started and build, the environments. I'm sure I'll be looking at a lot of videos on YouTube myself for that. All of those different things are going to be things that I will be doing in my own time to prepare myself for these videos that I'm going to post here. And I'm going to have a series. I'm going to make sure that I stick to like perhaps various sections within development. So I will have something more on like a series that's like project management, and maybe there'll be a lot of stuff on Scrum and Agile there, maybe even talking about Waterfall, and then maybe something like design where it'll be UI, UX, and it'll be based from a designer perspective of trying to pick up Sketch better, using Photoshop and Illustrator, dealing with assets, sprites even maybe, stuff like that. And then maybe the front end where it'll be very client side focused, of various different aspects of how people are doing that now, whether it be web components or a very hot framework like React, or a framework that probably deserves more justice like Vue, and still not neglecting frameworks like Angular. So that's going to be maybe the client side, and then the back end, maybe it'll be focused more on server side, not just databases and stuff like that, but also very server side focused and different languages for server side. Cross-platform, maybe React Native will fit into the client side. We'll see, but I would like to have different playlists that focus on kind of the different areas. Then all the videos that are within those series are easily navigated to for people who are interested in something in those series. But ultimately, I think it's a lot to cover, and I wanted to just introduce myself, put a video out there, and hopefully you guys will have some suggestions. If there's anything that is not on this list that you guys would like to see or would like to see me struggle through, I think it'd be a lot of fun. And hopefully I'll stream the work live on Twitch, and then on YouTube I'll just post edited clips of the content from those sessions, like key moments in which we learn something, or somebody chats and says something and the light bulbs turn on. And ultimately the process of becoming a great developer, at least from what I can see, is the ability to be very teachable, humble, and spend a lot of time investing and working hard to become better and knowledgeable and experienced by actually coding. And so I think that being present in this time is my way of setting aside time to make sure that I'm honing in and crafting my craft. This is something that I'm passionate about, something that I love doing. It is also something that's very difficult and can be very fast paced. And so for me to do this, it puts me in the situation where as a mentor, I am not just spending time mentoring other people with what I know, but I'm also forcing myself to be in that same role for longer and in a more continuous stream than just going to work and then coming home and kind of dabbling with things. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this content. I haven't quite figured out a name for the channel yet. So if you have any interesting ideas, if you guys would like another video in which maybe my wife interviews me and asks me some questions, or somebody from a meetup interviews me and asks me some questions specifically about a little bit more about my history, let me know. That'd be something really cool to do. But I'm not going to do too many big I guess videos as far as trying to like put clickbait titles and stuff. I think it's a little bit of a good element to have some clickbait in there, but I'm not really shooting for necessarily like giant views and just trying to get sponsors and stuff like that. I'm really passionate about learning. So I hope that anybody who's listening to this again will share their experience, share their knowledge. I'd like to build a Discord community. I'd like it to be consistent, these videos, even if it's difficult. Always make the time to show up and do them. And overall, by the end of 2019, I want to look back, and even if I only hit 3 or 4 items on this list in completion in totality, that I absolutely gave this year everything that I could in every avenue that I care about, that I want to develop in. And so this is one piece of the many other goals that I have. But this is something that I'm very excited about, and I don't really care anymore to be nervous or afraid of what people are going to think, or if it even matters to anybody, because at the end of the day, this is the kind of stuff that makes me happy, and I'm really excited to do it. So I know that's a lot. I like to ramble. I will try not to ramble during the actual stream, so that way I can just code and then compile it into some shorter videos, because people really like short videos. But I'm also going to not try to cater too much to what everybody says. And I know it's hard for some people to stick along, but I'll try to make it fun. I'll try to make it passionate. I'll try to convey what I'm excited about and really try to get into things in a way that will benefit and keep people wanting to grow with me and getting fired up about the things that they have as far as technological goals. We may cover some things that are more fun, some things that aren't on this list that are more like traveling or hiking or anything of that matter. But I would like to stick to, for this channel, and focus on software development, coding, and technology. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great night, and thank you for watching this video. Welcome to the channel. Please click subscribe so that way you can tune in for any future videos that I'm going to release. Hopefully I'll be in not wearing a hat next time and a little bit more professional, but I hope that this is something that you'll be interested in. And if it is, then I'll see you in the next one.